you being fair, but he looking for ways to change the story, bro. We all know what I did, but we got Michael Fox on the show. Michael, what up?
What's good? What's good?
How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah, man. Obviously, everybody's seen that you were called and flown in, as Glenn Jennings would say, overnight to be in town to spar Tszyu and replicate the good old Sebastian Fundora.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, it was a very, very, very short notice. And it came about basically just because about who you. It's about who you know. Brian Mendoza. He was actually sparring Tszyu before the switch, before the opponent switch. So before I guess anybody kind of knew Thurman was out, I kind of did. He calls me. I'm like, "What's up, champ?" He said, "Yeah, man, nah, yeah, you good, blah blah blah." This like 11 at night, our time, East Coast. I'm on my way to bed, and he's just like, "Yeah," he said, "I just tell you, man, Thurman's out." I said, "Get the fuck out of here." He said, "Yeah, Thurman's out, but they thinking of putting Fundora up, moving him up to the main event." So, what you know what I'm saying? He said, "I just wanted to see what you was trying to do before I give out your information." I said, "Yeah, nah, let's make that happen." About 20 minutes later, I get a call. I get my about 20 minutes later, I get a call. I get my flight, and then about 3 hours later, I'm on my way to the airport. I landed Monday.
3 hours later, that's
Damn.
crazy. What time was it in DC? You in
So,
DC,
no,
right? Or Maryland?
yeah, DC, man, it's all about the same place. But it was like I said, it was like 11. Might have been later. It was probably closer to 12, closer to midnight, bro. I swear to God, I was close to midnight.
Damn,
I'm on my
y'all got flights that late out of there? Shit.
we're
Nah,
not.
nah.
Well, it
He
was
had a morning flight, first thing in the
yeah,
morning, huh?
Oh,
yeah. First thing in the morning, you know what I'm saying. So they put me on the
sorry about
United
that.
flight. They put me on the United flight, and then like I had to scramble too. So I got the flight booked. I left. I packed up a suitcase. Then I had to go to the gym and get my sparring gear. Come back, make sure all that shit's packed, and then we jumped we jumped on the plane, man. We
So
jumped
do
on the
you
plane.
go
We got
alone
over
in these situations? Do they just fly you out, or do you get to bring your father trainer?
there. No. They just flew me out. They just flew me out. But my father trainer, he trusts. I mean, he trusts I'm gonna look after myself and things like that. Like I ain't got no problem dipping out if they try and carry shit. But Team Zoo is very hospitable. So shout out to Tim Zoo, shout out to Glenn Jennings, shout out to all them, man. They were very hospitable.
So you sound like you're back I mean, the Maryland area. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back in Maryland.
Why
I
you ain't
just
stay
I'm
for
in
the fight?
I couldn't.
What? They
I
sent you
had to.
home?
Yeah, they flew me home, but I mean it's all good. I want to I'm gonna catch all the fights, but like this was so impromptu. Like I couldn't get I didn't have time to get shit in order before I left.
Damn, tell me they at least had a ticket for you. What the fuck?
Um,
Oh
I don't know.
shit.
I don't know. It's all. I mean, it's like I said, it's all good. I can watch the fights anywhere. I like to watch them at home anyway because I
Me
like to
too.
hear
I
what
ain't
the
gonna front. I'd
corner.
rather
Yeah,
be on the television, man.
yeah. I like to hear what the corner's saying and hear
Shit, it's
hear the.
tough too, cause I was just gonna say now they gotta put you up for an extra week for you to stay just to watch the fight too, you know?
Yeah,
Man, they
that
could
too.
have downgrade. I'd have took the downgrade and the ticket. Like, fuck it. Get me out of whatever nice hotel you got me. I'll get a B&B. That's a big
Yeah,
fight. But
that's not. Yeah, that's the thing. If had I had a little more time to get shit in order, I actually would have had a place I could have stayed, man. I made some friends out there last time I was out there, so I would have had a room or something. I just, like I said, I had to get back. It was some, a few things I gotta take care of before. I didn't get a chance to, I couldn't get a chance to handle shit before I flew out of town. Normally, I get a bit of a notice, and I spend that week. I would have spent that week, getting my shit in order and then flying out. Wasn't that kind of time. We was on the crunch, and but they paid well, so I did it.
nice, man. That's good for you. Listen, I was just bringing up Zoo's power, and I'm going through his resume. So I'm gonna just refresh you because I know all boxers don't watch all boxers, right? So we looking for his biggest knockout win to kind of justify the power, right? And he did not stop Mendoza. He stopped Ocampos, who was stopped by welterweight Earl Spence. Before that, they both did it in round one. He also stopped Harrison in 9, and Jermell did the same. And Willie Nelson did that a long time ago from Youngstown, Ohio. But, it's like I said, the boxing world questions Harrison's chin or stamina. We don't know what it is. He didn't knock out Gachet. He didn't knock out Takashi Inoue. And then he knocked out Steve Sparks, who was a 140-pounder that Montana Love fought. And Dennis Hogan, who's common opponent with Charlo and Munguia. And Munguia couldn't stop him. People thought he beat Munguia. Charlo didn't stop him. But, no, wait, I think Charlo did.
He
Let me
did.
double check.
Stopped him.
Charlo stopped him in
Small.
5. No, 7. Charlo stopped him in 7. Tim Tszyu stopped him in 5. And since then has not been stopped. I say all that to say, how is the power?
I mean, his power, from what I felt, he's not a one-punch knockout artist type of guy. Like, you see Tank loads up a left hand, the whole world stops, and we wait to see how they take that next punch. Same thing with a prime Deontay Wilder. He send that right hand, you really kind of hold your breath. But he's more of a breakdown type of fighter. You know what I mean? Like if he catches you cold, like it seems like he caught Ocampo cold. He catches you cold, he'll do some serious damage. But his punching power has a cumulative effect. If you can't stay out of the way of his power, of his combination stuff, they'll eventually wear on you. Similar to like Charles Conwell. I once sparred Charles Conwell, and he punches a little faster, but he threw like a 4-punch combination, and all the ones that landed, they all hurt. And I'm like, how can you generate power on all of your punches like that? So he's a breakdown. He has a breakdown power. He's not a flash, boom, that's it, sleep, it's over type of fighter. He takes his time. He picks his shots, and the shots that land, they land with a lot of impact. He's a hard puncher. I wouldn't say he's a knockout puncher.
So Tank is still the biggest puncher you face or sparred
Yes.
with. That's crazy.
Yes.
See,
Right?
this is why I wanted Tank to fucking fight Crawford at 47, man. I know people think I'm crazy, but look, I hear these stories about this dude. Like, you literally comparing Tank and saying he hit harder than Tim Tszyu. That's insane, bro. I want to see him, spread them wings. But wow. So what about his feet, though, Fox? And obviously, look, he paying well. Don't say too much that's going to get you not brought back. But how were his feet? How was he dealing with your movement? Because we know you a good boxer.
Yeah, he's very balanced. You know what I'm saying? Has a very balanced stance. He knows how to cut the ring off good. But I mean, I've spent my career maneuvering around people like that. So I had moments where I got around him and surprised him a little bit. But he has a very balanced stance. And I mean, he's a smarter fighter than what you would see from the outside. It looked like he's just blocking punches and waiting for his shot, but he has little sudden movements that'll lead to him landing some or setting up some dope counter punches. Come on, man, get the fuck out the way. My bad.
Good,
yeah, but
you know you good.
No, man, they be tripping. They be tripping.
Yeah, but he makes sudden little movements, and he has, like I said, his stance is almost always balanced. Every now and then I got under him or I got around him and I surprised him a little bit, but there's no panic in him. You know what I mean? He's got the best poker face. One of the best poker faces I went up against. Definitely one of the best high guards I've went up against too.
Now, when you say one of the best high guards, obviously I think of Winky Wright because he was able to counter off that so rapidly. What does Tszyu do from that high guard that you are impressed with?
I don't know. Well, I'll say he like every now and then he has a. I don't want to say too much.
Nah, for sure. Don't ruin the bag, baby.
All right, but I'll say what I will say is, like, I mean, a great high guard, but like Winky's high guard is still unmatched from what I've seen.
So
Mike,
so did they make you? I'm sorry, Dan. Last one. Did they make you be Fundora or let you do and be Fox?
Nah, they let me be Fox, but Fox knows how to fight on the inside, well too. But like, it wasn't my goal. It wasn't my goal to just stay on the inside with him. If he was able to keep me there, he earned it. But I'm not going to just take a beating. I have a I have a pretty solid inside game that would surprise a lot of people. So, um, you know, countering, short shots. I can shorten up. I can shorten up on the inside, but my inside game is only used to get me back to the outside and to my most effective posture.
Danny?
Mike, yeah, Mike. Obviously, I saw you at the gym the other day, and I was happy to see you. Given the short notice, I thought you were a great look for Tim to help him in preparation for Fedor. I just want to know, what was that sparring like in that specific ring? Obviously, I'm familiar with the Split T Gym. I believe they have the smallest ring in the city of Las Vegas. Just want your
Damn.
thoughts on how you think that helps or hurts.
What size was it on the inside, Mike?
That joke might have been. It was less. It was might have been 16, maybe 17 and a half. A small ring. I ain't gonna lie, it's a small ring. And the thing is, they got a big ass ring, a big ass floor ring right next to it that might be like 24. And I'm like, damn, let's go to that one. But it's all it presents its challenges. I mean, I think if he were fighting a more mobile fighter, I think a small ring like that or preparing in a small ring like that would have hindered him. But I mean, I don't think Fundora doesn't traverse the ring a whole bunch. So I don't think he'll be. I don't think it'll be too hard to fire. So I don't think it'll have make too much of a difference. I mean, but we also don't know what Fundor's been working on for a year. He's been away for a year, but I'm sure he's been in the gym, probably trying to tighten up on some flaws and everything. But we don't. We can only base it off of past performances from Fundora.
For sure.
Mike, how was Zoo's punch placement? Did,
Good punch placement. Good punch placement. He's a thinker. I tell you, he's a thinker. You can't do the same thing a bunch of times. You know what I mean? So, and you can't just
okay.
sit. You can't really just. And he has a little bit of good. He has a good snap speed on some of his punches, where you can't just sit in front of him because he moves very methodically, but he'll kind of has a little bit of explosiveness in certain quick twitch movements.
Right, because one of the
Mike,
conceptions of him is that he just walks forward, throws shots, doesn't really set things up, doesn't set traps, just blindly throws.
Yeah. He's setting stuff up. He's always looking for stuff. He's always looking for openings. You give him the same look too many times. If it's not super duper effective, if you just kind of touch him a little bit, he'll make an adjustment. He'll move his head a little bit. He's moving his head more than I've seen in the past. So um, he'll he'll let you create an opening for him if you throw something lazy or something. If you show him the same move too many times, like back to back, like you got like honestly like you got two or three chances to make that shit work. If not, you gotta have some other tricks up your sleeve.
Okay.
Mike, something else that former sparring partners of Tim Tszyu have told us is that he throws a lot of shots that you don't see coming. Obviously, whether that means, you know, literally they don't see it coming or unexpected shots. Did you experience that at all? From the sparring, or could you see that being the case?
Yeah, he has good mix-ups. So while he's looking to counter you, if he's kind of leading the offense, and like I'm a pretty astute counterpuncher. So he got some good mix-ups sometimes. He'll same motion, but just with a different punch. So he has that. Like I said, he's a smarter fighter than people give him credit for. And that's
Did
a testament to his fight IQ. He has good mix-ups. Some that honestly they surprised me. I'm like, oh shit, like, oh, all right, cool.
Mike,
Did your height?
let me slide in here real quick. Mike, have
Go ahead.
you sparred Crawford?
Nah, I have never had the pleasure. I would love to.
Mm.
It'd be an honor, but like it was fun. Like I ran into Red, Coach Red, the last time I was out there. He was like, "Yeah, come to the gym, spar Crawford." I'm like, I mean, I'm on the, Brian and them got me on the payroll, man. I can't be. I need to be, ready. I need to be ready when he calls. I can't. If I go spar, God forbid something happen, that's gonna fuck up my money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, you can't fuck up the bag, man. But being as though you're a southpaw and he predominantly gets his big wins and knockouts in that southpaw position, how do you think he does? Again, don't fuck up that bag.
Yeah. Um, though it's Terrence Crawford, brother. I mean, it's hard to it's hard to see him at a disadvantage against anybody.
So the
I think
weight,
it will be a
you
I
don't
think it will
think
be a
the
good
weight
fight
is
though.
going to be any
Say again?
issue?
Uh, not only maybe
Cause you sparring Tim, you
honestly no.
sparring Tim like he's certainly not 54 pounds when you sparring him. So you getting to feel, fight night
Yeah,
Tim.
right. The thing is, Bud is like a lot stronger than what he's given credit for, like physically. We know he can punch, but physically, how many times have we really ever really seen Bud get pushed around? Like they thought Jeff Horn was gonna push him around because how he did Pacquiao. He was in there throwing Jeff Horn around, and you know Bud's wrestling background plays a lot into his strength, like his physical strength. So he doesn't have to get pushed. He doesn't have to go to 54 and start getting pushed around by anybody.
Got it. Well, Marco, you got anything? You were gonna say something. I
I was
interrupted.
gonna, yeah, I was gonna ask, was your height, because you're what? You're about 6'3", right, Mike?
I'm about 6'4.5".
Damn.
God damn. Okay. Was your height giving Tszyu problems?
Yeah, I think it always gives people problems in the beginning, especially in the beginning, just because you got to gauge like your leap ins or your steps. You got to gauge the timing a little differently. Like 6'4". I'm 6'4" and a half standing still, but I'm when I'm moving too, I can turn that in. I can turn that into 6'5.5" sometimes. Like I add extra inch to me, um, so it gives problems. But in every camp I've been to, they get time and they make the adjustments. I make my adjustments, and that's what makes the spawn good. Um,
Okay.
but
Okay,
it
I
was
guess I
just
wanted to ask,
it
so
was like I said, it was good work though.
I know you
Say again.
can't give away anything, but I guess my last question is, was there something that Tim did extremely well that surprised you?
Um, his patience led to like he has to like him having like a good little sneaky jab. And I mean, I don't think that's giving away too much. I think that'll be seen kind of early. But he has a good quick jab that surprised me a few times.
Okay.
What you could give your thoughts is on how Thurman would have done now that he is not in and he's a welterweight moving up. He had the 25 months off. You think any of that would have came into play, and how do you think he would have done?
Yeah, I think it definitely would have came into play. Just being off for so long. You know, Tim's methodical. You know what I'm saying? He takes his time. But I don't think Thurman would have been able to keep the pace to really keep Tszyu at bay. I think it would have been a tougher fight for Tszyu in the beginning, and then as the late rounds come in, I think he was gonna start wearing Keith down. Keith even in his prime, he fought like he tried to knock you out for like the first 5 rounds. After that, he kind of gets on his bike, and I mean, Keith's not 6'4". Keith is about maybe an inch taller, or they might have been about the same height. And like I said, um, there are aspects of Tim Tszyu's style that still would have kept him effective in the early rounds. Just that, but and that's it. But and that's with a guy that would have been his height. So I think it would have been I think it would have been competitive in the early portion of the fight, but it would have got away from Keith. I don't think he would have been able to keep the pace. He's been away a little too long.
All right, well, Mike, man, those are all our questions, man. We do appreciate you jumping on and filling us in, man. Keep doing your thing. Give out your
Whoa,
social
whoa,
media.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, you got more? My bad.
Here,
So
really quick, in the words of Drewski, what you mean by that? So are you saying Tim by decision or Tim late?
Whoa, why are you trying to put him in
I
No, I
think
mean the fight not happening, and
nah,
I don't think the fight will ever happen if I'm being quite honest at this point with
yeah.
Keith Thurman. So, this is all for shits and giggles.
Okay.
I think Keith would have survived, and he would have made it. He would have made it 12, but it would have got to a point where they would have considered it just would have got to a point where he wouldn't have been it wouldn't have been effective. He just wouldn't have been effective. It would have got to a point where he just was ineffective, and Tszyu just kind of just start shining at the towards the end of the fight. I think Keith Thurman was experienced enough to survive the latter half of the fight, and just would have been a decision, but unanimous decision for Tim.
For sure, Mike. Well, thank you very much, obviously, for the time.
Yes, sir. Give out that
Um,
social media, Mike.
Yeah, everybody can follow me at Professor Mike, Mike with a Y, at Professor Mike on Twitter and Instagram. And I got to shout out Ardrell Holmes too. They flew him out too. We did, he did half the rounds with me. So shout out to Ardrell Holmes from Flint, Michigan. He's
Okay.
supposed to be fighting soon too. So and shout out to the Boxing Voice.
I appreciate you, Mike. There you
All
have it,
right.
ladies and gentlemen. Michael Fox, shout out for the